Hello, this is Ruth, and today I've got one of Tonic's 2023 birthday week collections. So this is called the Special Delivery Postbox die set and matching stamp set. So there are 39 dies and 25 stamps in the set. Now there'll be lots and lots of other things. I'm not sure just whereabouts in the week this is going to come out because I'm obviously making this in advance. But if you do check back, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. You'll be able to keep up to date with all of this. There'll be plenty of launches and lots of samples and inspiration all through the week, and I'm sure you'll really love that. If you do enjoy it, actually don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment down below, but mostly I want you to see all of the nice things as they come along. Now I will be using this with a bundle that I've been sent as well, and this is called the Winter Green bundle, and I'll just bring it in here. So as far as I'm aware, at the moment anyhow, this bundle will be available as a collection during birthday week, and I'll show you what's in here. Really beautiful card that I can use to make up my lovely postbox. So we've got emerald green high gloss mirror card, flourishing green satin effect mirror card, silver screen glitter card, misty grey texture weave card, and opalescent green single side glitter card. Now you can see there that that's beautiful ombre card. As it says up there, the shade just goes from the green down to the grey. It actually matches in with this really well. But there's also a little 6x6 pack in there as well. This one's called Glorious Greens, and it's got 6x6 paper cards in it, 6 of each, 4 different colours. So there are, I've already been in there to see that, some shiny ones, some satiny ones, and they're really beautiful, and it tones in really well with this. But also in this bundle you're going to get dream drops, so those are golden shimmer, and this one here then is beautiful. Can you see that up close there? So that's confetti, and it's called apple flower, and it's really gorgeous little thing in there. And then this beautiful frayed, let me see the name again, frayed leaf embossing powder. So obviously we'll need to use that with some clear mark ink and our heat gun, and that will be really beautiful. So let's just have another little look at the die set before I start. I think this looks pretty simple to assemble, but I also want you to have a little look and see if there's pieces that you think you could use for other things as well as just the postbox, because I really think we need to get more and more use out of these die sets than just the single use. So this is a long strip here on the outside, and that folds over to make the little postbox. It's actually an American style postbox. Then we've got this large strip here, and that's the piece that goes over the top of it, but obviously that's a really good size for all sorts of things. And then there are 2 panels that fit inside that. So this one and this one are actually verso, so you need to cut those out with that outside edge that I've just shown you to get the pattern actually to bring out. So using that and this together, you'll get that gorgeous pattern. There it is, and I've just trimmed the smaller one off, and I'll back it onto this to show you. Doesn't that look really lovely? Now definitely that would be a beautiful panel on a card. You could maybe put 1 or 2 of them on, but it would also make a really lovely gift tag, or it would make a lovely bookmark. So there's definitely different ways of using that one, and this is a little one. I'll show you how it's supposed to look in the end, but on the post box this is what it looks like when you wrap it all around, and it's really lovely. So that would be beautiful in all sorts of different colours as well, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Christmassy at all, because there's nothing really there to say that that one has to be used for Christmas. This one here, obviously there's holly and there's berries and different things in it, so definitely that would be more Christmassy. Anyhow, we've got that, and then we've got this little semicircle here and the little patterned one that goes into it. They could most definitely be used for other things. And this little one here that has this sort of string or ribbon effect with the bow in the centre. Then we have this little envelope type of thing here, and we've also got tiny little, oh isn't that gorgeous, so cute, a little stag and a tiny little snowflake. These are obviously for the envelopes, I'm sure. And then we've got this gorgeous little border, so that could be used in all sorts of things. A bigger, I think this is an envelope here as well, and definitely this one. Now there's absolutely no way that that's going to just have to be used for Christmas. And then 3 beautiful little hearts as well. Then you've got some Christmas foliage that you could use on maybe Christmas cards or with all the other things as well. And then here's the stamps. So we've got mail, post, to, from, thanks, just a note to say, letters to Santa, you have mail, hello, special delivery, love and hugs, Santa Claus, North Pole, and then two little sort of postmarks, little borders here, and love you, and this little kind of airmail one, and the three little hearts. So those are really beautiful, and definitely those could be used in all sorts of things as well. Apart from one or two of them there's nothing really to tie that to Christmas as well, so we're definitely going to be able to get lots of use out of that one. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some cutting. I've got my card and everything set out for me here, and I'm going to do some cutting, and I'll be right back in a minute or two. So in between the last video clip and this one, I have gone ahead and actually done a step-by-step blog post on how to make this one, and then that gave me a better idea of what I needed to do for my video here. So I've lots and lots of bits cut out, and I thought this turned out really, really beautiful. I've added a few little things that weren't actually in that bundle, because I think green and red always look really cute together at Christmas. Isn't that really lovely? Now, if you notice the back of that, just that this shape here reminded me of one of the shapes from the Clocks and Cogs kit, and if you weren't able to get that, this would make a beautiful little carriage clock. You could put a clock face on here. I've got a video showing how to make a three-dimensional one up that stands up, and it's not as deep as this, but you could certainly cut that down and make it narrower, or even keep it that shape, that size. But I thought that was a really good idea for that one as well. And I've cut out lots of the little envelopes and things, and you can see here, wouldn't those be really, really lovely on memory books? There's different sizes. Now I've obviously decorated the front of them to match this one, but you could certainly go ahead and just use them like this and put little things in there, little tags or whatever. Now for the one that I'm going to make, first of all in the video, I thought I'd love some glitter, really, really glittery one. I've made the detailed parts in this one glitter, but I thought I'd like actually to make the whole base of this one in glitter card. And I don't even want to make a solid shape between the card and the decorative detail in this one the way I did on that one. I want to lay the pattern straight onto this. So the glitter card is 250 GSM, and it's just perfect for this. The only thing I would say is that the glue just takes a little minute or two more to dry on that. If you're not confident with glitter card, certainly go ahead and just use ordinary classic card or whatever you want for it, because glue always takes a little bit longer to dry on the surface of glitter card or mirror card or satin card or something like that. So I've gone ahead and I've cut this shape out, and that was with the main die here. There you are. And then in the blog post you'll see how I used this one to cut out this solid shape, the green area here for that one, and I haven't used that this time. So I've used this die along with the decorative detail one here, and I have just turned that over, put it onto my card and taped this in and run the two through the die cutting machine together, and that gave me then this half, because it only cuts the pattern into half of it at a time. When I had that cut then, you can do this either way. You can take this out and turn it around and put it through again, just pop that straight on top of the one you've already cut. So say you've already got this pattern here cut, you'll pop this on the solid shape and carry on, tape it down really well. Or you can just flip the whole thing over and put it on this way and cut it out, and then you're going to get this shape. And I'm going to go ahead then and glue that on there, and I think that's really pretty, because I really wanted so much glitter and shiny stuff in this, bling, is that the word, that I didn't really just want to put white in the background. So I'll go ahead and glue that together first of all. Just a couple of little tips for you here on this one. Because this is going to be bent eventually, to make the outside edge of this post box, you'll need to make sure that all the little areas here will need glue on the back of them. So remember to put little dots of glue and catch as many of those areas as you can, so that whenever this is bent, they're not little areas that are sitting up and not attached properly, because that just won't look good, and then it might mean that some of the rest of it comes up adrift. And then you can, as you saw there, I smoothed that down with my bone folder on the back and made sure some of that was, well, all of it actually was attached properly. Now on this one, if you're using the solid shape, remember that you would probably need to do as I did on that one. I put the attached it on one side and then I folded it round like this and added the other part, because that way you don't get ripples in the underside there, and it attaches whenever the two layers are bent, and that definitely makes a better finish at the end of it. And then the other thing that always makes crafters happy is whenever you cut this one out, you'll see there are lots of little shapes here, and that means you've got lots of little star die cuts that you can use to add to your little envelopes or whatever at the end. So now I've gone ahead and done that one, and then I've taken the shape that I showed you for the solid background on it there, and I've cut that out 3 times. Now I've cut it out 3 times in glitter card, although I definitely was only going to cut out 2 in glitter and cut out 1 plain. But I thought then, when I looked on the inside of this one after I'd finished it, that on this glitter one it would actually be nice to have glitter on the inside whenever you open it as well. So you don't have to do that, but you can. So what I'm going to do now then is put glue on these little tabs, turn it around, and then this sort of does 2 things at once. It means that I'm actually gluing these tabs directly onto the back of this, which means it's not as difficult to catch in the first place, because obviously glitter to glitter is just takes a second or 2 longer to hold. But if I put glue on all of this and line that up with the edge there and just fold those in the whole way around, I'm going to have a solid shape on here, and then when that's done I can fold it over and attach my other one onto the top. I hope you can see there, I've actually got some double-sided tape on here. I find that that was a really helpful way to keep these attached while I could work in at the back there and make sure everything was kept in place. So I've put double-sided tape just over the tabs to hold them tightly to that, and then I was able to manoeuvre this into place and hold it, and it stayed nice and still for me. You don't even have to take the backing off it, because obviously we're going to glue directly on top of that. So now I can go ahead and put glue all around here and add my other glitter layer on top, and that'll be the back of it already. This is the base then, and I've cut that out in the glitter card as well and burnished all these score lines really well. Now it's particularly important to burnish these ones really well, because when you put this in here you don't want that to be sitting raised up, because this next layer needs to go on nice and flat there. So what we're going to do is put glue on 3 sides of here and pop that in, and I'm going to line it up just here along this edge. I hope you can see that, but anyhow, when you do that it comes level just in between these 2 areas here, and I'm going to obviously glue this on at a later stage, but at the moment these 3 sides. This is the 3rd panel, so these are actually called front back panels or whatever, and this is the 3rd one, and I want to cut the little door into that. So I'm going to take the die cut that I used for it, and this is just for placement, so I'm going to pop that on there and make sure it's in the right place. You can feel it just click into place there, and then while it's there I'm going to put this one in and center that so that the little spacing the whole way around is in the right place. I'll hold that one down and take this one off, and then I can go ahead and just put some double-sided tape or whatever onto there and hold that in place and die cut this shape through that. Now I have taken these little dies here and here, and I've cut the solid one out in white and on both of them, and then I've used both of those dies together on the silver, on the shiny card, and I've done exactly the same with these 2, and I have got myself this lovely little piece here and this one, and that not only strengthens that but it also decorates it as well. So I can go ahead and glue these on, and when I've done that then I can glue the back of this onto here. I think just before I glue this on that I'll add the little decorative detail that holds the door in place. It's easy enough to do it afterwards, but it's actually a lot easier just to do it now. So I've got this little scalloped part with this die, and I'm going to glue that on here. Now, see this little hole? That's where you need a little brad to go through, and it holds the little closure. So what you don't want to do is cover that up. So I think the easiest way is to put the glue on here, right across there, and then put this in place from the back, and that will show you that you're not going to cover that up. Just like that. And then now I can go ahead, glue all of these tabs, this piece here, and attach that on there. You can see there how that little border just adds a little bit of detail on there, but the main purpose of it is to hold this door from just flopping straight inside there. Now I have cut these little pieces. So this is where you're going to need a little split pin or a little brad or something that will fit through here and not go right through it. But on this little die here, you'll see that there are 4 little fold lines. Can you see that? So we're going to fold each of them inwards like that, and I'll just show you this in a moment once I've got them folded, and then we're going to glue it together in a little loop. So I'm going to put glue in here, just in that bit, fold this over and that on top, and then the easiest way to hold that together is just by grab it with tweezers, and hopefully you can see what I've done there. There it is, and you've got a little loop that the little catch is going to go through. So it's back on itself. Yep, I think you can see it there. So I'll hold that for a second or two until that glue grabs, and I'll go ahead then and attach this piece on here. So the little brad goes through the centre here, and then you'll pop it in through this hole here and open out the pins at the back. This piece then gets attached on here because the little catch from there is going to go into the centre of that one. So that just gets glued on there, and then you can add this little piece on top. I felt, because I used the glitter card, and I know it's 250 GSM, and there's also this little piece of mirror card attached to it there, I really wanted to strengthen this little piece. So I've cut some plain card, and it'll not matter what colour it is because you're not going to see it, but it's 1 centimetre wide by 6.5 centimetres deep, long, sorry, and I'm going to pop that in there and just hold it in place until it grabs, and that will strengthen that little area for me there as well, and keep all of that nice and secure. Now, I have gone ahead with this other one here and decorated the whole thing with foliage and ribbons and bows and whatnot. This time I'm going to do exactly the same, because while I was cutting out the foliage I made myself quite a little container full of it, and I've got some left. It's all here, and I've cut it in silver and different greens and whatnot, and I'm going to attach it, and then I'm going to put the crystal drops on as well. But looking at this here, I think I am going to die cut this die again, even just put some red card in behind the stars and cut those out in red and paper paste them back in there, just to give that a little lift as well. There's lots of little dies for the envelopes and bits and pieces, but I'm going to stamp this and emboss it with this beautiful embossing powder here. So I've got it on my stamp platform, and I'm going to put some clear mark ink onto that, stamp it out, and then I'll heat emboss it. Well, we can't have a post box without some letters, so I've taken these dies, and this one cuts out this shape, and I've burnished all those over. So I only need to put a little bit of glue on there, and that will hold that together. And then I thought that this would be lovely as a little pocket. There we are, as a little pocket, but you can leave it just like that if you want. But what I'm going to do is I've used this die as well. I need to hold that just for a little second. I've used this die as well, and I've cut this piece out, and I want to put that on the other side there so that this is able to be folded over if I want, but I can leave it open if I don't want. So I'm going to set that there, and I'll pop this one over. But first of all, this is the piece that I embossed, and you can see how well that's turned out. And then now I'm going to glue that on there and glue this to that. I added just a little touch of red on there with a little red heart, and that finishes that off nicely. And I made the smaller one up in exactly the same way, so I've got this piece ready. And then I really love this die because it just looks like you've tied the bow, and you can tuck the ends in behind there and keep it nice and tidy. So I can glue that on there, that will cover that up, and you don't have any loose ends there. Just another little tip to do with the crystal drops. So if you're adding some crystal drops into areas here that are recessed, you'll need to come back again and do a second layer, because they usually end up with a little dimple in them, and you need to then, to have them raised up, you need to put a second layer on, and then all will be well, and it looks really lovely. And you can have a little look inside there, and I think that looks really, really nice with all that glitter inside as well. I had a little look through my die sets, and this is the Terrific Triple Towers, and I've taken the large die here that makes up the base, and I've cut that twice, and you can see how to use that in my video on the Triple Towers video. And I've made this little base here. Now I have cut the top for that, and I've cut a circle out of the centre. Unfortunately mine has got a little bit marked, but it won't matter. Really all you need to do is put a circle die in the centre and cut it out, and then we're going to take a roll of paper, so our card, and I've taken the candy stripe one, and this one measures 13 centimeters by 15, and I have molded it slightly with a ruler just to give it a little bend on it, and then I've marked a line in, scored it at 1.5 centimeters from the top and bottom, and I've just cut sort of little nicks in, probably roughly about 1 centimeter each, spaced between each of them, and just right up to that fold line. So what I'm going to do now is just fold this around like so, roll it up, and I don't really want to stick that down yet until I get it in through here, and then I can just let it pop. Then I'm going to fold all these pieces back like this, and then I'll be able to make sure I have all of this in place here and run glue down there, and then that will go on, and that will be the little stand to put my little post box on. If you don't have the Terrific Triple Towers die set, you might actually have the Perfect Pergola die set from a little while back. I think it was a showcase set, and the base of it does exactly the same thing. You could even use the base of the, I think it's the Ascot gift box. I'll put the name on on the screen anyhow. But there are several of these that you could use. It doesn't have to be this shape. It could be round, it could be square, it could actually be anything. And the size of this doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be exact, because as I say, you can fold this up and just let it come out to fit whatever size. And of course I've marked that, but I am actually going to be gluing some little letters and things around the bottom, so it won't matter anyhow. And I'll attach the rest of it now. I've made up another post box, and this one is with white 300 GSM card and the candy stripe foiled card over the top there. And then I've got the ombre card on here, so I put the dies on so that the lighter one was going to be at the top, and then this one is shading down into the darker. And again, I've got some of that card in here as well. It's really lovely card. And now I'm going to attach the base that I had showed you, because I actually made the base first just to make sure it was going to work out before I went ahead with the rest of this. So now I have another piece like this cut, and I took off all the edges and I die cut a circle in the center and slipped this up through, and I'm just going to bring that back down to that 1.5 centimeter line there and glue all of those pieces in there, and then I'll have my little stand and everything will be sitting right. I just want to move this around so that I can get the join in at the back there, and there we are, going to glue all of that together. I finished this one off then with a lot of foliage and envelopes and all bits and pieces around the base of it there, and little berries with the red berry crystal drops as well, and a couple of little hearts. So even if you don't have the exact same dies as I have there, I think that would be fairly simple to go ahead with. Just roll a tube there, and actually you could even do it if you had a little die that would cut a different shape into the base there. You could make a little tube as well, but I've made a sort of cylinder one there, and then you could just create a little base with a circle or whatever else you have to do it. You don't necessarily need those ones that I've got. And I put some ombre card on the back there because I thought that was so beautiful. I wanted to add it over the top, and I've added some silver foliage down where the join is in the card, and then there are my little cards on the base. So now I have 3 little post boxes. I've got 2 smaller ones and then this larger one here, so there they are. And lots of envelopes and things and little bits and, oops, I think I've stuck my finger in that. Yes, I have. Oh well, I'll fix that. So lots and lots of little bits and pieces to go along with that as well. Little envelopes and all sorts of things here, and I think they're very pretty. So I hope you have enjoyed it. I have, and again, as I usually say, I do enjoy making these things. They're different, and three-dimensional stuff's a little change from cards as well, and I really enjoy that. So my affiliate links to the products that I've used will be down below in the description of the video, and I always appreciate everybody who uses those because they don't actually cost you any more at all, but I do get a little commission from them, and I really appreciate that. Thanks very much to everybody who watches all the time, who takes time to leave a little comment and gives me a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do that as well if you like, and hit the notification bell, and there will be lots more coming this week as well. So thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, happy crafting. Bye bye.